Hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report with my good friend Wayne Weiss by my side here. And we're going to delve into the stories that are important to us all.
Or not important, which is
Or not important.
yeah, it's entertaining.
It's a little bit of both. But, so how you been?
Pretty good. Fighting. I'm waiting for the first good freeze because I got ragweed and goldenrod all over my place.
Really? Oh, boy. This is 10/17, and it was 30 degrees at my house overnight.
Don't think I got any frost. It didn't look like. Usually I can tell by the barbecue grill in the back. It gets.
Oh, okay. I tell by my cars out front.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mine in the garage, but I need a good freeze for the pollen. What's out there?
That's always a good time.
But it's got to go below 26 though to kill it.
And the bugs.
Yeah, that too.
Boy, I had a massive influx of hornets.
Oh boy.
Boy, I'll tell you.
I got stung this summer, but more than I ever got stung.
I got stung 3 times.
I got twice.
Yeah. But anyway, so what's happening? Well, first of all, Dwayne,
Yep.
I'm going to move this right to the top.
Okay.
Either or,
Okay, we're ready.
be a hawk or be an owl.
Oh. Hawk.
Yeah, they fly way up there.
I like that soaring they do.
Creamed corn or corn on the cob?
Corn on the cob.
Yeah, me too.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Cream corn is not particularly appetizing if you know where it's made, or how it's made. I worked in canning factories. Nothing gets thrown away. When the corn comes in, it gets cobbed. The kernels get stripped off the cob. All the nice whole kernels go through a sifting thing, get put in cans, sold to the supermarket. Those kernels that are smashed, broken, overripe, or got a worm in them, are deformed. Guess where they go?
Into cream corn.
Exactly.
But I like cream corn.
There you go.
It's delicious.
Cream corn and French cut beans.
Yeah.
French cut beans are the string beans
Yeah.
where they get about this big and cordy that you can't hardly bite into. They cut them lengthways,
Oh.
cook them longer, and call them French cut beans.
Well,
Otherwise, they'd have to throw them away.
another thing to blame the French for.
That's right.
Bread pudding or rice pudding?
Rice pudding.
I like bread pudding. And my grandmother, God rest her soul, was a good cook.
Yep.
And she always had puddings for dessert when I ate up their house. And bread pudding was one of my favorites.
Our families, too, where the grandmother was she set the bar on how things should be cooked and make meals and stuff.
Yeah. Bow tie or regular tie?
Well, for appearance, regular tie.
For convenience,
A
bow tie.
little clip-on bow tie.
Pool or darts?
Pool.
Darts. I can never shoot pool. Worth a damn. Card games or board games?
Card games.
Yeah. I like a couple of different card games, especially bridge.
I don't play, but it's too hard for me.
Um,
I can't catch on to that.
But I like some board games like Risk and Monopoly and stuff like that. Those are fun too.
I got bad memories of board games. Playing with my son, Candyland over and over and over and over.
I used to play with my brother, and we'd play Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was towards the end and he was running out of money, he'd tip the board over.
Yeah.
It was very, very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Boom! Oh, look what happened.
Oh, gee.
Captain a ship or pilot a plane?
Pilot a plane.
Yeah, me too. Kill a cockroach with your bare hands or a mouse with your shoe?
I'd rather kill the cockroach.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hit
Whammo.
I wouldn't hit the mouse.
No, I like mouses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our house is better in this fall, at least.
Yeah,
They're all everywhere.
every place. PBJ or peanut butter and banana sandwich?
Oh, geez, Bill. I don't like jelly with peanut butter, and I never had bananas with them, but I don't
Elvis Presley's famous
I know.
for it. Yeah.
Probably the banana one, because I don't like PBJ.
Okay. Peanut butter and fluff or peanut butter and honey sandwich?
Oh, geez, there's another one. I hate fluff, so it's got to be peanut butter and honey.
Okay.
I don't like marshmallows.
Oh, really? That's almost un-New England.
I know it is.
Eat applesauce or drink apple juice?
Applesauce.
I like apple juice.
Yeah.
Paint something abstract or something realistic?
I'd like to be able to do the realistic one.
Yeah.
If I could, yeah.
Yeah, abstract art to me is just some moron
Yeah, you go
threw
to
a bunch of paint
go
on
to a
them.
museum or
Yeah.
where they've got these things for sale.
Yeah,
And they got some red stripes and splotches over here. I could do that.
anybody could do
Yeah.
it. Oh, yeah. And finally, play the bagpipes or the tuba?
I've played the tuba in the past. The only thing is it's the weight and the size. I think I'd like to try the bagpipes just to irritate people.
Yeah, yeah. The bagpipes. The Scotch say they battle with the bagpipe to make it produce noise.
It's an interesting. It's kind of an interesting instrument.
It is.
You can make it sound happy. They make it sound sad
Yeah.
with the same songs. And
All
how they
kinds
play
of
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, last night we saw at 6:30 Kamala Harris being interviewed by Brett Baer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Did you watch that?
No, I saw parts of it though.
Okay.
But it was after the fact.
Yeah. The interview was more like a filibuster on her part. She kept talking over Brett Baer. She wouldn't answer questions. And the filibuster was, well, of course, you have to compare it to Donald Trump, who is a madman or incompetent and rah, 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 rah. And Brett Baer kept saying, can we get back to the question? Or like that, and trying to read in the next
That's a
question.
disease they all got.
Yeah.
Really bad.
But boy, if Brett Baer had not interrupted her, she would have gone on for 27 minutes talking.
Yep.
The gamblers last night, posted odds after the interview,
Yep.
hours after the interview. But the odds are now 61 for Donald Trump and 38
Yeah.
for Kamala Harris. Now that's if you want to bet.
Yeah.
If you look at the football games, these guys get it pretty damn close to right.
Well, Vegas sets their odds on
Yeah.
that. They don't fool around. There's
No.
no iffies on that.
There's no favoritism.
Yeah.
It's not, well, the Patriots are my favorite team. I'll, fudge the odds. No. I think 61-38 is maybe a little top heavy for Trump.
Yeah, I think it's closer than that.
Yeah, I don't think I would wager any money at. Now, if I could get, if I were a Harris fan, I would certainly kind of jump all over this and say, hey, it's closer than that. But, and, Kamala Harris, it seems to me, had made another big mistake. When she was invited to the Al Smith dinner tonight, she refused to go. I think that's a good time roast kind of thing, where they kind of make fun of each other. It's politics light, if you will. And they have fun and they have laughs. I think she's afraid she couldn't function in that atmosphere.
I don't know. You don't know what's going on in the background of any of these things.
I think, though, Dwayne, I think that decision was taken out of her hands.
Yeah, well, most of all those are.
I'm sure Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi said, they'll take cheap shots at you. Stay away from it.
Right, exactly. That's.
But it's all done in fun, and the other question that came up last night, not an original thought by me, but one of the pundits after the show said, "Where was the joy of Kamala Harris?" She talks about joy constantly. Especially in the electoral process. There was no joy last night.
No, probably not, no.
But anyway.
You got to give her credit, though, for stepping into Fox.
Well, I think she did it out of desperation, don't you?
Well, I don't know if out of desperation or not, but you don't see Trump going to a CNN friendly.
Oh, he's done CNNs.
Not lately.
Well,
he won't even go close to ABC anymore. He won't even go back to Fox now. Christ, yesterday he was madder than hell at Fox. He's done with Fox, he said.
I've seen so many clips of him being interviewed by CNN or by TV or whatever. Maybe he figures he's run the gamut on those interviews or something.
Oh my God, he's got to do something, because did you see the town hall meeting from, was it Osk, Pennsylvania?
No.
When he went into a song fest? You had two people, one of them passed out in the audience. So they tended to him, or her. Then another one passed out. And of course, he don't handle that well. He said, hey, he's all right, just leave him alone.
Were they swooning over him?
I don't know. But anyway, he says, I'm tired of questions. Let's have some music. So he said, nobody's got any more questions, do they? Of course, everybody's got their hands. Yeah, I do. Oh, let's have some music. So he says, play Ave Maria. And they start playing it. Of course, he tries to dance, He looks like a bozo idiot when he does it. Then he says, get the one with the music, the words on it. Then he's dancing around. 39 minutes he went. Wouldn't take another question. He took 4 questions.
Wow.
And he went rambling on stuff. He must have saw it. He saw it. He goes rambling on stuff. Like, where is he? He's not on that stage. His mind is gone.
But
that's not the first one.
His numbers are going up.
Yeah, I know it. That's what they say. The more bizarre he gets, the more the MAGAs relate to him.
He's got all the MAGAs already. He's getting other people.
Yeah, that's the whole point. They don't know why. The weirder stuff he does.
That brings me then to I'll piggyback, and I'll go to another subject that you are tickling on right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Black men.
Oh, did you see the black men? I love black men. Oh, I love black men.
Black men and Latinos.
They're some switching.
Are swinging over.
Yep.
And the reaction from the other camp is this is gender politics. Those men don't like taking orders
From
from
a
a
woman.
woman.
That's,
Well, who does? I mean,
I
really?
do.
Well, yeah, we do, but we've
We
grown.
better.
Yeah, well, we better is right if we want supper. But no, this is a phenomena that I have not witnessed before.
No,
Now,
I haven't either.
I have seen the racial component. If you are black and you're not voting for Biden, you ain't black.
See, but
You know that.
all of this stuff, you got to remember it's politics. And we got media. Media looks for stuff to talk about. If they see a swing of 1 or 2 points someplace, they don't say, well, 2% did this. Massive. They'll bring it out and they have big stories, both sides of it. Big stories of it. I told Monica the other day, I said, this election may surprise people and it may not surprise people. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that you don't know because the media is making stories about everything,
Well,
making
it's
everything
not the
bigger
media,
than life.
not necessarily the media. I mean, Barack Obama made a long, rambling speech
He's
about,
politician.
you know, if you're black, you cannot vote for Trump.
Yeah,
Now,
I saw that.
So now, Dwayne,
Yeah.
if Trump said, if you're white, you must vote for me, what would be the reaction of the networks and
they'd turn
and
it
the
into
press?
They turn it into
Oh, well, they would burn him
Oh,
at
yeah.
the stake.
absolutely.
Yeah, but Obama can say that.
Yeah. Well, you got that. That's our whole society is geared towards that.
Yeah.
It's if you said to somebody sign up for a scholarship for blacks, everybody says, "Oh, isn't that wonderful?" If you said scholarship for whites, you're Ku Klux Klan.
I have written down in here Kamala Harris's economic plan for blacks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay? Do you realize that she changed it?
Probably. These people are going to change as the wind blows.
For blacks and others.
Yeah, okay.
It's been changed to. I mean, if Trump came out with an economic plan for whites.
You can't say that, though.
See?
In this, no matter what it is, you cannot pick out white as a group
Oh, I know.
and give them if there's an advantage. But you can take minorities and do it. It's always been that way, Bill. It's been that way for 40, 50 years.
It doesn't make it right.
No, of course
No.
not.
But yet, the media.
You know, when I was in college, in the student union, they gave the second floor of the student union to black students. White students couldn't go in there because they wanted their own area. But and nobody could do anything about it. That's it was.
So how does the great melting pot,
It doesn't.
is that
doesn't.
idea gone?
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. It was an idea. It was an ideal,
And
but it never really came about.
it did when the Italians, when the French, when the Germans, when the Irish all immigrated to the U.S.
Yeah.
That melting pot
Did
worked.
Yeah.
But they were all white.
They were all white.
That's right. And if you're black, step back.
Yeah.
You became the norm after that.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the racial component, they were not able to jump into the melting pot.
No, they weren't.
No,
But it's been that way a long time.
it has. It's getting better,
Yeah.
but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And it is live and well in this campaign.
Oh yeah.
Because gender and race are two big components in this. I really and truly believe that.
Well, I don't doubt that at all. Gender, there's some people that really have to do some soul searching now with a female running.
Yeah. Now, the election, it was a talking head, and they said, the election is the big three: economy, border, crime.
Yeah, probably. Somebody want to bring in abortion.
Yeah,
a lot of
abortion's fourth.
times.
Um,
Which I don't give abortion anything.
you know what, Dwayne?
That's if you want you and your conscience and you or whatever you want to do, that's between you and your maker.
You know, I was writing what I thought would be a letter to the editor of the newspaper, the Herald, and abortion is a matter between her and her doctor and her family, and most importantly, between her and her conscience. It is up to each individual state to decide how to handle this issue, not the federal government, because it states in the Constitution, all matters not covered are hereby relegated to the states.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah. To me, that's the whole story.
Yeah, if the will of the state is A, then it should be A. If the will of the state is B, it should be B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I think we underestimate the role of the husband in this process.
I think that some of these people think a husband's got any role in it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I think that there are some families where the wife and husband sit down and say, is 3 kids enough? That's it. Shall we draw the line? And
I don't even bring that issue up in my house because I know I'm going to get.
Yeah,
we're over here and over here. So
yeah. Well, see, I had 3 sons, and I would have been happy going for number 4, but we talked it out. And
discretion.
I think the question that of all of this that probably has hurt Kamala Harris the worst is on The View, when one of the people said, what would you have done differently from Biden? And she said, nothing comes to mind. Wow.
She did say that. That was early, very early in the campaign. But to me, The View is a big waste of oxygen and electricity.
Yeah.
There's nothing that they can say that makes any sense.
And one other thing too, and this again is something else I came up with in my letter writing thinking. The big lie, the cover-up of the mental and physical decline of President Biden, the deliberate lies to cover up Biden by Karen Jean-Pierre, Kamala Harris, Jill Biden, Anthony Blinken, and the others who haunt the White House are despicable acts, especially by press spokesperson Jean-Pierre, who blatantly lied to the U.S. public. It should be noted that the media banded together and lied shamelessly. In the words of my good friend Bucky Kalu, there's not enough light poles in this country to string up all these people who did this stuff. He didn't use the word people, though.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, and he asked, Brett Baer asked her last night, and she deflected it. I've never seen a moment when he wasn't able to make the proper decision and the proper guidance and blah, 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 but never answered the question about have you seen a change or anything of that nature. That was, to me, that was the couple of things that I thought she came up short on.
I'm always leery of Fox, so I can't trust them anymore.
Really?
News items, fine. You get into politics, opinions and stuff, they have gone off the deep end.
But you watch CNN.
I watch them both.
CNN is worse than Fox.
I don't. Well, see, I should say I watch the news part of them. When they get into the whatever her name is at night and stuff, I ain't got time for that. Those idiots.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
either one of them. Fox is just as bad, or worse sometimes.
I must admit,
CNN can once in a while admit a little bit on the other side. Fox got this wall that comes down now. They can't admit anything.
Really, because they've had some guests on recently that certainly have been
I ain't
able
watching
to.
them at night when they got guests and stuff because.
I mean, I burned out on it too because I liked Bill O'Reilly. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I did too.
And when he left, the people that filled the void, just not up to speed.
They just couldn't fill that void.
No.
What's he doing now?
Writing books. Yeah.
His Killing series was great.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
They were excellent. Well researched, well written.
And there's a lot of stuff about things like the Kennedy assassination and about other things that he wrote about that I never knew. He uncovered a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff you thought you knew a lot about it, but you really didn't.
Yeah. By the way, one thing just has nothing to do with anything except it's a thought that I've had. The Jewish people observed Yom Kippur.
That's Friday.
The Day of Atonement.
Right.
A day of reflection and prayer and formally repent of sins. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. I'm surprised other religions haven't adopted some version of it. Because, I think it's important that we stop and think about what we've done and what we should have done. Mm-hmm. And observe in our silence.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I always think that that's a great thing every year when I read about it. Would you?
No.
No? Okay, that's what the answer's going to be. Would you get into a driverless electric car / taxi?
Probably not.
Yeah. Well,
the idea, that whole concept, for me to get in a car and it's driving down the road, I take my hands off the wheel, all control, give it to the car, it may be perfectly feasible, but I don't trust it.
A couple of years ago, they asked that question in a poll. 52% said yes. They would jump into a electric taxi that was driverless, that the computer took you to your spot.
I was told why I had that feeling too.
Oh, really?
Yes, my spouse, of course. She said, you won't accept that because you're too controlling. You can't give control up to somebody or something else. Maybe it's true.
That's part of the union, the women's union. Yeah,
I guess.
I've heard that.
But
before.
Being controlling.
Yeah. So, a couple of years ago, when we were first getting into electric cars. 52% said yes. Recently, 75% say no.
Okay.
And you know,
They have had some accidents in
Yes, they
San
have.
Francisco, I think it was.
yeah. And them catching on fire in the garages is another thing, too.
Oh, that's it, lithium, ion
Yeah.
lithium.
Yeah.
But I just the idea of that, and I am not even comfortable knowing that if I'm going down the highway at 65 miles an hour and there's a car coming me at 65 miles an hour, that car might not be driven by anybody.
That is a fuzzy feeling thought. Yeah.
Although on the other hand, it might be a drunk that you're meeting or somebody that's dreaming or doing something else or talking on the phone. So it's
Which brings us to another question, and it's too good a question to pass up here. Have you noticed the quality of drivers on the road today? Is it better or worse?
I'm going to say worse.
It sure is.
You know, you live towards downtown, and I live over on the Rentham side. And, of course, we're going the other way all the time down 115. And I caution my wife every day when she leaves, watch out for the idiots on 115. You can make that 2 or 3 miles, whatever it is, to town center or the senior center there. And it is rare that you don't have to dodge somebody coming across that center line. Either they got the phone hanging out of their ear, they're dreaming, whatever. Even big trucks, you know, you're getting way over because they're lifting right over that line.
There was a big truck in front of Norfolk Prison this morning, okay? So I come down. Now, this big truck's got its four-way flashes on, and I pull out to go around it. There's a pickup truck coming the other way. Veered right over into my lane and had to whip the wheel fast. He lost all concentration. He was looking at the truck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, whatever he was doing, combing his hair or, But you see crazy stuff all the time. In parking lots, I go up to the post office every day.
Yeah.
That is a disaster zone, that parking lot
yeah.
beside the post office. I swear that half the people that pull in there are crazy, the other half are drunk.
Yeah. Well, that place should have an in and out.
Well, they would have.
What
But
happened?
the Norfolk bureaucracy got in the way and started telling the builder, the contractor, how he was going to do it.
Oh, okay.
And he listened to that just about long enough, and he said, yep. He said, you can take it and whatever. I'm going to do it to the letter of the law.
Yep.
He had a plan to go all the way around
Yeah,
and
come
make
out
a
the
U around it.
Okay,
And the zoning board and other boards started in on him. Well, you got to do this. You got to put in for variance. You got to blah, 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 blah. And he just said, screw it.
Foxborough's got you go in one end of the parking lot, you go out the other end.
Normal people would do something like that. We don't live in a
No, we're
normal
not
town.
normal.
Let me tell you, nothing about this town is normal. This is very distressing. Teen use of social media adds to anxiety and depression. Family breakdown is key to limiting their use of it. Do you know that 57% of teen girls have considered suicide?
Probably.
Yeah.
I never thought about it, but that's possible.
And the family is not saying to the kids, knock off the stuff.
Yeah, you could go ahead. I can see where that's coming from. In the old days, even, well, not as far back maybe as you and I, but in the old days, 30 years ago, Kids went to school and reacted with kids, or interacted with kids and reacted, but there was always one or two you didn't like, and they didn't like you. Yeah, that was normal. You just ignored them.
Yeah.
Today, with social media, you can't get away from them.
No. And not only that, but they make fun of these
Exactly.
semi-outcasts.
That's right, and they get groups of them coming at this
Yeah.
poor kid. The poor kid can't do anything
Yeah.
without being bombarded with this stuff.
And I'm telling you, Dwayne, I have talked about this, written about it. If I were the king, all right, I would say to the schools, uniforms for the kids.
Exactly.
This business about the girls having a fashion show every day, and girls from a family that doesn't really have
it has to have a
untold
name on
wealth.
it.
Yeah. And they wear hand-me-downs, or they wear other things.
Yeah,
they don't have a wide variety. But the girls have to have like 2 weeks worth of changes.
Oh, yeah,
and
couldn't
all
wear the
that
same
stuff.
thing on Monday
Yeah,
as
you
Friday.
can't do that.
Yeah, that puts a lot of social pressure
Well,
on
it
these
does,
kids.
because when they start in on, did you see Mary Jane
yeah,
today?
exactly.
She looked like a beggar on the street and all that. What the hell's, kids can be the cruelest damn people.
I went to a parochial school, grade school and high school, and I don't think the grade school had one, but the high school had a dress code. To be fair, though, the guys didn't really have to have it. They couldn't wear jeans, that's all. But if they were black jeans, the nuns didn't think of them as jeans. They just
really?
couldn't be blue jeans.
Oh, okay.
The girls had to wear a navy skirt, white blouse, and I think a navy jumper they could wear.
Yeah.
I think that's what that called, like a vest thing.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be, this doesn't seem to be insurmountable, you know? It cries out with common sense.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't mind even the boys have to have a certain dress code.
Absolutely.
It would take out the getting in, what am I going to wear today, you know?
A white or a blue polo shirt and dark jeans.
Yep.
That's it.
It puts back that you're there for an education. You're not there to make a fashion show, or you're not there to make a society statement that I am superior. I'm on the top echelon. You're not.
That's right.
And
I
kids-
am the stick that stirs the drink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You've got a couple of things here
Yeah,
to
I do.
wrestle with.
Remember when Bill came up here with these envelopes you get in the mail? It says, "Do not bend." So he'd open them up and say, "Why don't you bend this?" So he'd open it up. There was really no reason. I guess it was just to get you to open it.
Just paper. Yeah.
Well, I got one now. So the other day, it says, "Notice of receipt" on it, like it's a certified mail. And it says, this really is, it's serious, man. I thought, oh my God, am I getting sued or what is it? It says, "Confidential. Please note that the contents of this mail are confidential and intended solely for the recipient."
Wow.
Here's where it gets tough. "Any unauthorized use, disclosure, or distribution of this mail is strictly prohibited." I'm not even supposed to disclose what's in this, apparently.
Usually they give you the law, too, the number or something.
Well, down at the bottom it says paid. There was a fee paid, a date, and my zip code and somebody's signature. So,
Well, boy,
with fear and shaking, I opened this up.
you thought it might be your draft notice?
Oh my God, yes. It had to be something really important. "Hi, Dwayne. I'm reaching out because my team is upgrading a home near Pine Street. Your home is similar to that one, built around 1983 with an oil boiler, heating system, etc. They're trying to sell you one of these heat exchanger systems. Now, no, just the name of the company, not where they are, who they are, anything, just one little word. would you? I wouldn't trust this thing on a bet. No,
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 absolutely
not when you try
not.
to
Now,
pull this
how-
kind of crap on the outside.
So how do you get in contact with them?
Well, they give me a number. It's a 401, so it must be Rhode Island.
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry, it's 413.
413.
I'm not sure where 413.
So there is a phone number.
Yeah, there's a phone number.
And there's a company name at the bottom?
Yeah, Tetra. I never heard. That's no, nothing about them. Nothing. It's just like a blank piece of paper. I said, boy, now that really instilled a lot of confidence, particularly after pulling this little.
This misguiding envelope.
Yeah, and I can't even divulge what's it's about. So I'm probably going to get sued
The
now.
only good thing about that letter is you can turn it over and use it for
Use the
scrap
backside,
paper.
that's right.
That's what I do with them.
But I said, oh, come on. I said, that's chintzier than even Publishers Clearinghouse used to try to pull.
I haven't got one from them
I
for
don't know.
1,000 years.
I was going to ask you, are they out of business?
You know, I don't know. I don't know.
Because they used to always have a bunch of stuff coming. Oh, yeah. And then, folks, we got not only we got election with people coming, this time we got 5 questions. Now,
On the ballot.
On the ballot. Typically, Massachusetts voters don't do well with questions. For some reason, they're very easily led. And I should say fooled, but I'm not sure it's fooling or not. I think they just don't pay attention to it. The last time we had any kind of questions here was chickens and pigs. Do you want to vote for the chickens to have free range and no cages and music 24 hours a day and order their own meals, whatever they want, whatever? They were chickens. Of course, people voted, oh, yeah.
Great idea.
Great idea. And of course, the egg prices went sky high because you couldn't have eggs that were from chickens in a cage. They had to be out of cages. They had to this, they had to that. Not only that, if you were a producer of eggs, you couldn't even bring them into the state to sell them. You had to meet that standard that the voters paid for or voted for. And you never know who's behind that. Always some, and even when he wasn't even part of the SPCA, it was some weird group, Save the Chicken, you know. But and number 2, we did it with pork.
Yeah.
The pigs cannot be raised in pens. They got to have names. They got to
Individual 3-room apartments.
oh yeah, get dates for pig proms and whatever. You know, it was all kinds of ridiculous stuff. Well, you know, one retailer did take note of that. If you go to BJ's now and you go into the meat department where the pork is, there's a little sign up there that says, "We are sorry, but Massachusetts voters voted to section whatever the code is to enforce this thing on pork. We are forced to raise our prices because of this, because our vendors have raised their prices. The same thing over on the eggs. They're telling the people, you voted for this.
Yep.
BJ's didn't want to raise the price here, but you wanted it raised." We got 5 more questions coming, but they're not quite as dynamic.
They're not as onerous.
No, they're
No,
not.
but a couple of them are stupid.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Something stupid. Let's take a look at the first one. The auditor's authority to audit the legislature. I don't know how you feel about this, folks, but we have a legislature that meets in secret. No one knows what they do, how they do it, and who they do it to.
They vote in secret.
Yep.
And you know, I understand it's changed, but back in the old days, there was a scoreboard
Oh, you don't want that
on the
anymore.
wall.
Yep.
And everybody's name was there and a light beside it, whether they voted yes or no. And it
That's
was
right.
up there for everybody to see.
But not now.
Not now.
They don't want anybody to know how they voted and
That's
why they
right.
voted. And being the suspicious person I am, I can see all kinds of reasons for it.
Oh, I can
I'm not
too.
going to come out and say there's corruption going on or influence going on, but
Hanky-panky.
hanky-panky going on. But I am all in favor of this auditor's authority to audit the legislature.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am too. And the numbers are that that's going to pass. Now, you know what's going to happen? The legislature is going to ignore that.
Yeah, that's right. They have done that in the past.
And the Attorney General is going to say, it's nothing to do with me.
Yep, that's right. Well, anyway, a yes vote authorizes a state auditor to audit the legislature. It's just that simple. You want the legislature to keep meeting in secret and doing everything they have under the table, or you want everything on top?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. And right now, it looks like it's going to pass.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, number 2. This one here, you're getting beat to death on TV. It's the elimination of the NCAS for a high school graduation requirement. You're seeing a lot of people voting yes on this because don't get confused. Yes means we want to get rid of it. A no means we want to keep the requirements as is. But all the ones that are saying yes, if you look down at the fine print, almost every one of them is Massachusetts Teachers Association. It's the teachers union that's bucking this one.
That's right. And you know why?
Oh, of course.
Because little Bobby failed the MCAS test. That damn teacher didn't teach him worth a crap, you know?
They don't want any kind of
no
responsibility on anything,
blowback.
so.
No blowback.
No blowback.
But
So
you know what the interesting thing is, though? Now, according to what I read yesterday or the day before, the MCAS test will it'll continue to be given to each and every child because the colleges want to have a number like that so they can look at that when they're looking at admitting students.
but anyway, you make up your mind on that one.
Yeah.
Number 3 is unionization for transportation network drivers. That's like your Uber and your
Yes.
Lyft. I don't know. They're contract people now, but they want to be contract and they want the benefits of being non-contract.
Yeah. So they're looking at wages, okay? And I think that some Lyft or some Uber in California, I think, the state of California.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's up to like $31 an hour driver's rate.
32 something.
Yeah. So that's what they're looking at.
32.50. That's what they want here too.
Yeah, $32.50.
Yep.
So what is that going to do to the cost of using an Uber?
It even says right here it's going to raise the prices for all riders.
Yeah. And it's going to raise it tremendously. I mean, if a guy's getting, say, $15 an hour, minimum wage, and tips,
Yeah.
okay, he's probably getting $25 an hour. So you raise it up 30%.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But here's what they say, and this is we got to be careful here because the prices are going to go up. But according to the argument against this is that the majority of that money is going to be going into the union and union dues, not to the drivers.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
Of course they're in favor of it. So
Yeah. This is just one more reason to vote for Trump. The unions are getting ridiculous in some of their demands.
Oh, absolutely.
Look what they're doing to Boeing.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're going to settle. And they're going to settle for just about what they've been offered now.
Okay. 4 is a doozy.
Okay.
Limited legalization and regulation of certain natural psychedelic substances. Mushrooms.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't care.
Do you know what? If somebody wants to go in the woods and pick mushrooms and eat them,
You know,
you
God
know,
love 'em. You just-
believe me, that's between you and the boss of your kitchen.
yeah.
It's got nothing to do with me.
The only good part of this that I can come up with is that it opens up research using that. I don't know the chemical name,
Yeah.
and they have
The
used it.
psychedelic
Yeah.
component.
They've used it for mental illnesses. Sometimes it will calm people down or do something.
Yeah, but it's. Has there really been tests on that?
No,
or-
that's the whole point.
That's the whole thing.
That's
yeah.
the whole point. If you legalize or put this passes, they've got access to do it.
Yeah.
When these things are prohibited, they can't even test them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
it may have some value, but
you know, yeah.
you know, the guy walking around stoned out of his mind on psychedelics, whether you pass it or not, it's not going to change his sources. He's still going to have the same guys he's buying it from. They're going to be there all the time anyway.
That's right.
So you're not
Right.
going to change the bottom line here. And just because it's legal or quasi-legal, if you're not, this is the kind of thing, if you're not prone to do that kind of stuff, you're not going to do it.
It's just like pot.
Yeah.
Okay. As the legalization put the pot dealers out of business?
No. Nothing changed.
No. Hasn't changed at all.
Nothing. It's a society. It's an organization. It's way of always done it. And they're going to continue to do it.
That's right. That's right. And these stores that open up, I've got overhead and all, where Joe Smith standing on the street corner hasn't got much overhead. He buys it from
That's
a
right.
dealer and resells it.
Plus, these guys still don't care. I've like a lot of people, I've tried it in the past, but you never knew what you were getting. With pot anyway, at least when it goes to the stores, you know it's not laced with. Today it could be fentanyl.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be careful.
I have never tried it.
Yeah, it's overblown. I can't use it because I'm fat. And I say that because there's a side effect, and they call it the munchies, and it's real. You will eat, things taste so good, you'll just start. You can take a new bag of Oreo cookies, and they're so good, before you know it, half an hour later, you eat the whole damn bag.
Plus bag.
Plus the bag, yeah. So I can't afford the calories, so I can't even go close to it. All right, the last one's an interesting one again. Minimum wage for tipped workers. Right now, I don't know what a server gets. It's $6.25, $6.50,
It's, yeah.
something like that, plus tips. And the tips are supposed to bring it up to the minimum $15 something. Well, they make a lot more money than that, or they wouldn't be doing it. They earn it.
Hell of a lot more than that.
Yeah.
In a good restaurant, I've talked to the waitresses.
Oh, yeah.
I go to one restaurant, and I know the waitresses and all. And, they're $50, $75 an hour.
Yeah.
And they work like a 6-hour shift. It's a lot of work, a lot of running around.
Oh, yeah.
And they take care of their customers, and they're compensated for it. Now, do you think that service in restaurants is going to improve?
Oh, no.
No, it's going to go straight downhill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just going to come out and sling hash at you.
Don't make any difference.
What do you want?
They raised our salary to $15.50 or whatever it is, $16 an hour. And that's all we get.
Yeah.
All we get. You can leave a tip,
Yeah.
but it's pooled. It goes to everybody in the house,
Including the owner.
including the owner and manager is going to get in there too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this deal stinks. And yet, it's favored to pass.
Yep. Well, see, it's the way it's written. They can, the poor thing, they only make $6 something an hour. That's not fair.
It's really stupid.
Yeah.
But you know what? If we used our heads and upped it to $10 an hour, who would it hurt? Nobody.
No one really.
The increase, the restaurants. So we got to go up on our menu 5 or 7%. But you know what? After the initial hoorah, then it all settles out again. And you know what? This wouldn't have been an issue. But this is a bad thing.
Yeah, I still don't understand who is behind this. It's some outfit in California started this.
Yeah, you know what? George Soros has
okay.
got his hand in everybody's pocket. It's socialism, I think. I think that's the thing is, well, she hustles and she makes $75 an hour. I go through the motions and I make $35 an hour. That stinks. And the socialists among us want everybody to make the same wage.
Yeah.
So I got to believe that's part of the problem, but I'm not sure I understand it all. But it's not a good deal.
It's not a good deal for the waitress.
That's
or
right.
Waiter. That's for sure.
That's right. And I think you'll see waitresses saying, you know what? I am not going to break my hump
Yeah.
for $12 an hour or $14 an hour.
And some of them worked for years to get into the better places.
Yeah.
You know, a waiter or a waitress at someplace like a Ruth Chris,
Yeah.
they're making $100,000 a year easy enough. Maybe won't pay a bit more. As opposed to working at
And
Applebee's.
bartenders too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I never understood that, but folks, we're going to take a break now.
Yep.
And you folks do whatever you do at break time. Refill the coffee cup or get a couple more beers.
There you go.
We'll be back.